Hey, my name is Hardo Kaurit. I'm also part of the tire mounting tool racing family, the family of Kaurits who have been racing for generations already. And part of that, we also started working on tire mounting tools. So 15 years ago, a bit more, the first TMT product was launched called the TMT Original. This was the bed pusher you may be seen on sometimes on YouTube or Instagram that helps you to push the tire over the rim. But yeah, years of racing, using the tools, producing and shipping them worldwide, also gathering feedback from new customers. Then the kind of process started going, and we've developed new generations over time. And here what you see is the very newest, the TMT6 TireCharger Max. So this is the 6th generation of tire changing machines. And yeah, this is the best what we came out so far. And I'm gonna show you a full-blown video on how to use that to change your dirt bike tire. I'm gonna take it real slow. I'm gonna share some tips and tricks. So maybe it will help you to kind of change your tires yourself. So what we have here is the full version. So it comes with the TMT tool. If you already own one, it is possible to upgrade. So you don't need to buy this one again. You only need to change the axle. It has the up and down pusher, but I'm gonna show you in action soon. Here I also have 4 pieces of 15-inch tire irons with the curved edge, which is very helpful and easy to use. The machine already comes with the tire iron holder. The machine is fully adjustable. It's good for most of the dirt bike tires out there, starting from 10-inch up to 21. I also have the bed pusher, and I also have the air valve tool. So you can buy all of those on our website as well. Yeah, let's get going. I already have adjusted the machine to 19-inch wheel, which I'm gonna show you today. There's another video up there which shows you exactly how to change it anywhere between 10 and 21 inch. So first off, I'm going to remove the tool so I can put the wheel here. So this one has a special locking mechanism that I need to pull it up to remove it. If I don't, it keeps firmly in place, which also prevents the tire from jumping up. So putting the wheel here, so I'm gonna do the full circle. I'm gonna unmount the tire and I'm gonna remount it again. The first thing to notice is that you should always have the brake disc side upwards because the wheel of a dirt bike usually is not symmetric, and on motocross or like enduro bikes, usually the brake disc side is closer to the center, which means it is easier to do all of the process with the TMT tool because it's like more straightforward force applied. So you put the wheel here and you insert the TMT here. I also want to show you the sleeve. So originally the tool comes with 20-inch axle and this 25mm aluminum sleeve. It's with those two you can do anything between, let's say, 20 and 30mm hubs, but we also have a special edition super axle that makes it possible to use it on wheels with starting from 12mm axles. So it's useful for vintage bikes, also kids bikes. So as I have a 25mm hub, it's a Yamaha YC250F here. So I use the aluminum sleeve and it fits just perfectly. Push it all the way down. So the first thing you need to do when you start unmounting a tire, you have to let the air out. So I remove the plastic cap, and then I'm using this tool. There's plenty of them available. You see them in many other locations as well, but this is what's developed by us and you can buy it if you want. So I'm going to show you how it works also on the other side. But the small side, you want to unscrew the air valve fully, let all the air out, and that makes it possible to unmount your tire. So put it nicely away. The second thing you need to do is to loosen the rim lock, so that also keeps the tire on the rim. I luckily have a ratchet wrench, but a normal one is also good. It just takes a bit more time. You want to open the nut as much as possible without taking the nut off. So this is good that it makes it has a lot of free play. Next up, you see the TMT6 downward pusher in action. So you pull it over the tire and you push that down. You want to have this pin removed. So if it's removed, the downward pusher is active. If you put it in, the upward one is active. But first we need the one that pushes it down. And doing this, when I now press this here, then this one is pushing the tire off the rim. So it's really convenient to get the tire bed off the rim. You want to do a full circle so it's nice and free. And then you take the tire irons. The number of irons, most of the tires come off with 3 quite easily. For stiffer tires, you could use 4, sometimes even 5. It's not about using less just because you can, because the more tire irons you use, the less force you need, and with that there's also a smaller risk of actually hurting the tire, for example. So what I do, I use the downward pusher to leave a gap between the tire and the rim, so I can really easily enter the iron. And then I'm gonna leave like 15 centimeters. Again, small tip, the curved edge goes first, and this helps to not hurt the air tube. So you want to put it this way. And then the third one, and the fourth one. Maybe for the fourth one you can leave a little bit more room, but I use it like this. Now what I do, I turn it half a cycle, so I can actually use this to get the tire in the center of the rim, like this. And then I'm ready to start demounting the tire. To make it easier, I put the first one usually between the brake disc, and then one by one you get nicely the hardest part done. Usually by the fourth, some of those already come loose, so you can continue without using, or you can use this one to continue. At the same time, you want to make sure that the opposite side of the tire is nicely in the center, so you can use the TMT pusher for that. And once like half of it is done, it's already comes quite easy. So you can put some of the tire irons to rest. When the first side is off, then fully you can remove the tire irons, keep one. And now what I do, I'm going to show you how the upward pusher works. So you disengage this one by pulling it up and pushing it further on the side, and you insert that pin into the hole. And now what happens if I use my leg, it's pushing it up. So you can get the tire off the rim also from the other side. Again, full circle. Next thing, you can remove the air tube. So for this, you want to lift the tire a bit, and you use your fingers to get it out. And we can put it to rest at the moment. Now, what's left to do? We have to also get the other side away. This is one of the my favorite features of the TMT6. Is working with air tubes. The machine is also well capable of working with moose tires, where this machine obviously comes even more handy because that's a tougher thing to do without one. So what I do, I look where the rim lock is, and I go maybe 30 centimeters on one side, and I lift the tire to make sure the edge of the tire goes into the center of the rim. So if I do this, it leaves more space to the opposite side, which helps me to push the tire over the edge. So I keep my hand here. Okay, you can also use your tie, and then I push it with my leg. And if you look closely here, if I do this, it pushes the tire over the rim. So before you start pushing it up, attach this hook. So this securely attaches to the rim, so it makes sure that the wheel doesn't bend, and you have the maximum force available. And now I put one of the tire irons here, and I start going. And easy as that, I get the whole tire over. It feels so nice to do because it can sometimes be a bit of a pain. So, tire fully removed. Put tire back, and basically you're ready to start mounting a new tire. For these educational purposes, I'm going to remount the same tire. And before doing that, I also have some small tips to share. So the first thing I usually do, I put the tire onto the rim, make sure that I'm going to start mounting the tire in the right direction. Some tires have directional arrow, some don't. If they don't, then usually you can mount them either way. But to start mounting, one small tip I have that we are using here is that we put the air valve back into the tube, and then we put a tiny bit of pressure into the tube, and that helps us for the air tube to just keep its shape a little bit better, and that helps a bit that the tire doesn't get into wrong places where it can actually get hurt and break. So just a little bit. So you see it starts to take a bit of a circular shape, and that's it, but it still feels completely soft. Another tip what we have that we are used to using baby powder. We put the powder all over the air tube. That makes it a little bit softer, a little bit more slippier, and it prevents the air tube to get very hot or also moist, which just extends the lifetime of the tube. And it also helps a bit, keeping things clean and mounting it. So the first thing I want to fully insert the tube into the tire. It's definitely important to get it all the way in. If it kind of stays somewhere in between, and there's a risk of actually breaking it if it gets somewhere where it shouldn't go. And by having a bit of pressure in the tube, it just helps it to stay in place so nicely. So if I do the full circle, yeah, it's nicely away. So another tip that some of the rims, including the one I have here, which is the XL rim from a YC250, it has space for the rim lock, and then it has two holes, extra holes. So one is used for the air valve, and one is used for the optional dual rim lock. So we also have like a special kit available for mounting the rim locks. And this is again sometimes useful Also our family has sidecar motocross racing background, where you have extra stiff tires and dual rim locks, so it comes handy. But what I recommend you to do is to have your air valve next to the rim lock, so the hole that is close to the rim lock, so that just makes it so much easier to mount it. So the next thing I do, I start mounting the tire. I want to insert the air valve through the hole, and to keep it from going in, I use again the TMT air valve tool and just slightly screw it on to prevent it from going in. I don't have to like secure it fully. It's good if it moves, but I just don't want to get it in, because later on it can be tough to get it in there. The next thing, I need to insert the lower edge of the rim lock into the tire. So I want to make sure that the air tube doesn't get pinched between those, and I insert the rim lock onto the lower edge of the tire. And the upper one, well, it's good if I just push it over. So we have the air valve. This is still the moment where it's easier to slightly rotate the tire, so you want to make sure that the air valve is as straight as possible. And if you have done all of that, the next thing, we start mounting the first side of the tire using the TMT tool. And this is also definitely the fun part of mounting tires. You definitely want to make sure that this side is kind of pushed in, so it's easier to start mounting the tire. You start by putting this pusher tool to the right location. You start from the really beginning. It's not about rushing. You just start pushing it over the rim bit by bit. No use of like taking too much distance at the same time. Just bit by bit. And easy as that, it goes over. As you can see, the tire wanted to kind of pop into already, so I'll make sure it's over the rim, so it's easier to continue mounting it. And then if it feels that it's becoming too tough, then the reasoning is that the other side of the tire is not correct. So you want to make sure that it's in the center of the rim, in the deeper groove, so it's easier to mount. And just like that, half of the tire is mounted. You can still rotate the tire if needed to make sure again that the air valve is straight up. And then the next thing is to put on the second layer of the tire into the rim. We are also using the rim lock, most of the dirt bikes do. And the tip here is that you want to finish the circle on the rim lock. So because you have to get the tire between the rim lock and the rim. So I'm going to show you it later. But starting, if you want to leave this one to the last, then I'm going to start from next to it. This is again where the downward pusher comes really handy. So I want to engage this. And I do it like this, that I put the TMT tool just like a few inches on the right side of the pusher tool. And now when I push it over the tire, I use my leg, which is kind of like an extra hand, to keep it down there. I also have the bed buddy, so this makes it even more secure, that it doesn't pop up. And it's definitely a necessary tool when you're mounting moose tires. But now I just start going, I push it forward, and I use the pusher to keep the tire in the center of the rim, which is very vital to make the mounting easy. So I'm not using any much force at all. Sometimes you also want to make sure you can go a bit back, just make sure that the tire keeps in the center of the groove. That way you're gonna make your life so much easier. So now if you're near the finish, like I said, you want to make the final push at the location of the rim lock. Just keep going until the very last bit is still off. You see, it's very close of being mounted at the rim lock. Now what I do, I take the TMT tool away, store it, and I turn the rim lock at the exact position of the pusher. And here you can see there's a special place for the hook, so I can put my tire iron here and use that to fully push the rim lock in. So when you're using air tubes, you don't actually need that much of a force, but for most tires it's super handy, so you have all the force to push that in. So I hold it and now I push it in with my leg. So I do this and the tire nicely slips between the rim and the rim lock. That's how it's done. The next thing you wanna do is to inflate the tire. So you remove the air valve tool. You see that it's nice and straight, it hasn't gone anywhere. We already put the valve inside here, so you just grab the air compressor and start inflating. So whatever pressure you're going, I think it depends a lot on the bike you're using. For motocross, I usually do like 1.0, 1.1, so it offers a lot of traction. Maybe on a rocker track where it's higher kind of risk to pinch the tire, I use maybe 1.2, 1.3. But in the beginning, you want to anyways overinflate the tire to make sure that the tire is fully seated into the rim. So this one seems to go very nicely. I think from this side, I need to apply a little bit more pressure. Okay, looks nice, so I can put some pressure away. That it's as much as you want. Once the tire is seated, you put on the plastic cap. We usually don't use the nuts here. That's helpful sometimes when the tire starts spinning on the rim in extreme conditions. If you have only the plastic nut here, it's easy for it to break and it can go inside, so the air tube actually doesn't break if that happens. So that's just something that we use for racing, not the most important thing to do. And then the last thing is to secure the rim lock. You want to make sure that it's secured. You don't have to go crazy on the force, but also don't do it too lightly. So it looks like it's fully mounted. Went quite nicely. Now you pull this handle, you remove the tire mounting tool together with the sleeve, and yeah, was nice and easy process. You don't need to kind of have bloody hands afterwards or really dirty ones and have said a lot of swear words. It's actually also a little bit fun thing to do. So that's it. This was the tire mounting tool TMT6 TireCharger Max, fully equipped, which is available on our website, shipping almost worldwide. So check this out. We also have a bit more instructional videos on the website on how to change the machine for different wheel sizes or how to adjust it. Or if you have just any questions, feel free to give us a call, write us a message or send us an email. So yeah, that settles it for the day. I hope you had fun and it was useful for you to watch it. For me it was fun, and yeah, until next time, thank you and bye.